Should be able to hear us now, people, and you should be able to hear everybody else in just a second. Here we go. Say hi, party people.
Hi, party people.
Hi, party people. It's still not picking up my desktop. Hang on. What's going on, y'all? Are you there? All right. Now say hi, party people.
Hello.
Hi,
Hi,
party
party
people.
people. Take two.
There it is. There it is. Number one.
Hi.
Snare, 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 snare.
Hey, snippers, get here, company.
Flaggle, flaggle, clabble, monkey flapping. It's like a tiny little intersection of individuals that know what that means. So we're here. We're back. Brian, say things now.
Welcome back to the further adventures of our intrepid crew, the Berezaya Argia. And I feel this sentence, as put into our notes by our lovely documenter of such things and journalist of our endeavors. It's chaos, folks! Our adventures, after succeeding in their endeavor working with several airship crews, have taken back several vessels and brought them to a secured location of Skyhold, a rather secretive endeavor put together by the patriarch of House Orion, a certain Gullick to Orion, and some House Lyrandar personalities, including a Captain Johnny Drake de Lyrandar, among other, and Tiernan,
Ooh.
Captain Tiernan Sexy Bottom.
Tiernan Sexy Bottom? Really?
Yes. Oh, I feel like at some point Ember and Rhiannon probably Ember came up with that, and she and Rhiannon 100% just call him that now.
It's fair. It's fair.
I think I'm getting a nod from Ember.
I mean, that would track.
With the virtual thing nods, because it's like your whole chest cavity and shoulders nod with you.
Oh, wait.
Anymore. It's straight up. Hey, second one.
The tech
think we
gods,
might-
no, we have
This one is some internet issue, I think, though.
recorded for a while, and they are unhappy.
Shit.
I see movies now. At any
Now we
rate,
got some.
however, the party's celebrations of a successful campaign to take back several Lyrandar airships was cut short as the party was effectively ambushed by several vessels, part of this the Lazar Principality piratical air fleet, as it were, since they had recently begun a campaign of stealing all sorts of goodies. In the chaos, the party was all kind of split up, but eventually this came back together for the most part, or at least are making their way back towards Zaya as Skyhold and the various airships are being attacked by an armada of other airships. And if I recall, as I say, looking at the notes here, the most current chaos of events is that Amaya is actually at the helm of another airship, with several wounded or knocked out individuals surrounding her, mainly because of her fists, and sword and whatnot, and is steering or trying to commandeer an airship, for lack of a better term. Gavin crashed an airship, a burning, flaming airship, into another airship, causing that one to be burning and flaming as well.
You're welcome.
And And Ember and Barca are Ember is flying with Barca more or less holding on for dear life on Ember's back as Ember is trying to get back to Zaya, that is quickly trying to maneuver around. However, the difficulty of this is definitely there's still a lot of dangers. There are still several airships that are rapidly approaching, and actually, as I say that, before we kick off the beginning of the round, or I should say at the top of the round, because we're still basically in combat. No, I don't miss. We'll say that one miss. But Zaya is herself being bombarded a bit by several either ballista or catapults, or in one ship's case, actual what sounds like maybe firearm-esque cannons.
Yes, that's right. Piss off the ship's mom a little bit more.
Well, I mean, they are, trying to destroy you as we were trying to destroy them. I mean, it's only fair. And Zaya's literally the size of a barn, actually quite bigger than a barn, point of fact. But several barns, a warehouse, I don't know. Anyway, but the combat is definitely you are still in the heat of combat, as it were. Let's see, I had 3 that hit and 1 that was a crit. And just taking a quick look at Zaya, because it's been a while. Damage threshold is 20. Okay. Now, for those that are on Zaya currently, I mean, you do see there was some burning damage, and there is still some little bits and pieces of leftover wreckage from a sky coach that had crashed upon her deck. Zaya's gonna take from the various weapons that are hitting Zaya. You do see like a ballista bolt hits the deck and just kind of bounces off and flings off.
Yeah.
Yay! Hardened.
Woohoo!
Oh.
is both yay, but at the same point of time, this happens maybe about 5 or 6 feet in front of you, Rhiannon. And so, like, having this spear-like object bounce off like a plaything, whipping through the air in front of you with a is a little
disconcerting.
I'm not on Zaya. Gavin and I are flying.
Oh, never mind then. Well, it flies by you regardless. Anyway, but Zaya is gonna get beat up a bit, and will take several of the other larger objects, though, like some of the catapult stones are going to be do significantly more damage, though, and so let's see, 54. And so Zaya actually will take about 108 bludgeoning damage.
Holy fuck!
Oh, that's
from two very large catapult boulders that hit her, and then one that actually crashes into the command deck. and like pierces through the command deck and even kind of breaks not 100% down into the hold, but is sunk pretty deep into the deck. And realistically, if you're underneath, you could see it up above.
That's my room! You fuckers!
So then we will go to top of the round, which is Ember.
Shit.
Now, Ember, you and Barca were flying as fast as you could carry him, I believe, towards Zaya when last.
That was the current plan because of the screaming of Zaya.
Yes. And you see Zaya. I'm gonna say you were actually, because you see Zaya, like all of the airships, like none of them are docked anymore. All of them are up in the air, swirling around. You do see the kind of the fusillade of attacks that were going at Zaya are coming primarily from the 5 or 6 airships that are the majority of the armada that's kind of looming up above, that's starting to make its slow descent. Whereas some of the ships that you're dealing with right now are more of the ones that were immediately around and already engaged with Tiernan and Johnny's airships. So I'd say I just rolled some dice, I'd say you're about 70 feet away from the deck of Zaya.
Okay. I can move 60 feet on my 5, if I'm not mistaken. Pretty sure it's 60 feet. If I don't want to double dash. Yeah, it's 60 feet. Okay. Shit. I really didn't want to double move. Fuck. Shit. I got no choice. Okay. I'm gonna have to fly over so that I can drop Barca off on the deck.
Okay.
So I'm gonna double move to get the 70. From the deck of the ship, what's the closest? Okay.
If I recall, the closest ship to Zaya is actually the one that Amaya's on, because Zaya is trying to stay close to that one in case.
Gotcha. Which was the one that shot her with the boulder?
Several of the ones that were up above.
Fuck. Fuck it.
And they're like in general they're like maybe about 600-700 feet off, give or take.
Oh shit.
They're definitely shooting with what we would refer to as artillery range.
Okay.
Than anything closer. Sorry.
No. It's fine.
I was just quickly trying to look at it. Apparently I closed my book and I should have kept it open to look at artillery stuff, but
I was quickly looking to see what spells I could cast as a bonus action. And guess what? It's not a whole fuck ton. I forget. It was Barca hurt.
He's got some injuries, but he's, he's more angry than hurt. Because, I mean, it is Barca.
It's true. Okay. All right. Sorry, I'm taking a fuck ton long time. Then as I okay, I'm gonna drop Barca off on the deck.
Okay. Easy enough to do.
And then with the remainder of my movement, because I only made 70 out of 120, that gives me 50 more feet.
Okay.
And I am going to use that 50 feet, and I'm going to go into the direction of the fucktards that are shooting big ass boulders.
So
That's
you're
my ship.
kind of heading up towards the 5 or the 6 airships that are.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm gonna yell down to Zaya and see if you can aim. Roll.
Okay.
Barrel roll. Barrel roll.
Is that it for Ember's turn?
Spray and pray, baby. Yeah.
All right, Gavin, you're next.
Where the hell are we?
We're flying. You're
Right, I remember you got blown up and got sent spinning, and I managed to stop that. But like in
Yes.
proximity to like Zaya, where are we?
You two are in the air. You're actually, you see.
You had just crashed the ship I set on fire into another ship.
Right.
Yeah, but he did kind of, I believe, Misty
Then
stepped.
Misty stepped off.
Off because I didn't want to be on the ship when it went boom.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're not on the ship when it collided with the other one. You are.
I totally see you doing like a Jack Sparrow thing, like just like stepping off of the flaming deck and just.
I hope everybody was paying attention because I will not be doing that again.
Yes.
Good.
Absolutely. And then just,
So yeah, you're in the air right now. You're kind of situated more or less between Zaya and the approaching armada. You kind of look back towards Zaya and see this flaming angel that is the Ember of House Vidalis, getting closer to you. Maybe about,
I feel like I had a plan at some point, but
Right.
it's been a minute.
It's been a minute.
been a while.
Ember's flying towards me. Rhiannon is
somewhat close to you.
Somewhat close to me. Amaya is not on Zaya? Is that what I'm...
Amaya's on another ship beating the shit out of somebody, I think.
And the only reason why you even know that is big flashes of bright white light on board one of the command decks.
Light grenades.
Light grenades.
Meaning currently Zaya is not being crewed by
Actively.
any PCs.
Not by the PCs, no. Like Nikali and Kaladin are probably ordering the goblins around as best they can, but effectively Zaya is uncaptained at this point.
We need to go. Fuck. Sorry. I guess I'm gonna make, how far am I from Zaya at this point?
I said you're about 40 from Ember, so I'd say roughly about 90 to 100.
90 to 100.
Give or take.
What do you get for Dindor right now?
Yeah, I was
I know
trying
it
to see if I
depends
had
how
any
much you
info.
got.
Do I? No, I don't fucking hang.
dim door for me.
Okay. I kind of glance between Rhiannon and Ember, and I'm going to shout to them, I'm going to go help Zaya. I cast Vortex Warp on myself, which will teleport me 90 feet. If that's still above us, I'll have movement. It's like, if that's not far enough, I'll just fly and move the rest of the way. To get on deck near the helm.
And just to verify, Vortex Warp, you can cast it on yourself?
Yes, it's, well, I mean...
Because
I can't imagine why
I
you
think
would.
it's usually something else that you cast it on, but I just want to double check to make certain.
You can magically twist space around... you can magically twist space around another creature that you can see within range. I can see myself.
Yeah,
Another creature.
Technically says another creature.
Okay, that is another creature. Okay. It's fine. Everything's fine.
I believe you do have a fly spell up on you still, though.
I do.
I'm pretty sure because that was done by.
Yeah.
That was
right. I did that. That was me.
Okay.
Then I'm just gonna, because that's a speed of 60. I'm just gonna double move to get on deck.
Okay.
That'll save me a spell slot anyway. So yeah, I'm gonna double move to get on deck. I'm just gonna check one thing real quick. Sorry, it's been a long time since we played these characters.
Remember, as you're flying out, you hear, Amber, I'm gonna take ours out! It's like,
I mean, that's a move and a dash. I don't have any bonus actions that I can do in this moment, so.
okay.
That will be the end of my turn.
Alright, after Gavin, it is the inspired advice, like.
It's the inspired martial artists.
Oh, those are the martial artists. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. So, Amaya.
Yeah.
If I recall, most of the pretty much wiped out the guys that were immediately where you were at. That being said, you see two individuals seem to kind of come up from the lower decks. They're kind of, you know how like there's a staircase on either side of the port starboard side of the deck to come up to the command deck. Well, they are like one comes up each side basically in very kind of a guarded sort of flanking kind of position.
Okay.
And you do hear in your mind, well, hello, sister. And then you feel this horrible, nightmarish assault kind of go at you, and I need you to make I believe it is a wisdom saving throw. You'll need to make 2 of them in point of fact.
Okay.
Now, as a flash tar, I believe you do have advantage.
I do. Well, the first one was not great. 15 on that.
Okay. And then the other one?
Other one, nat 20. 26 total.
Nice.
Okay. So all of a sudden, this sort of what really could only be described as a nightmare of horrendous fear and darkness assails your mind, almost like two dark tidal waves of fear and pain kind of crashing against you. But you're like, bitch, I fought dragons. Like, it's not a it washes away off of you with no issue, and you see both of them kind of, and they kind of they sort of ready poses like they're not super happy, but you know they'll deal.
They just pull like a Miami Vice back-to-back pose.
Well, they're still kind of in the sort of each one's about maybe 25 feet away from you, 30 feet away from you. So they're both still kind of, they're just getting in kind of a ready, you can definitely tell they are hand-to-hand, trained in hand-to-hand combat, unarmed combat, much like you are, just judging from their stance and their style.
Gotcha.
Because you are no slouch when it comes to that. In that regard. And that will be it for the martial artist. So does Rhiannon.
So I am near Amaya. I had gone toward Amaya to help her.
Okay.
How many people are on the deck of that ship?
I mean, there's still quite a bit. There are boarding parties and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it looks like they were. I mean, they're definitely fully crewed. Now, that being said, the command deck is full of a bunch of unconscious or corpseified people, other than these two martial artists that are there, and then Amaya kind of piloting the helm, as it were.
Mm-hmm. How many people are within 30 feet of the two martial artists? Or let me put it this way. If I cast something with a 30-foot within like a 30-foot radius type thing.
30-foot radius? Oh shit.
Well, no, I think diameter. It's like a 30-foot total.
Okay.
Not radius.
I'd say you could probably get, in addition to the martial artists, probably get like 13 people.
Cool. So I don't like this. They're attacking my friend, and they seem pretty awful. So I am going to make sure that I'm within 30 feet of them. And I'm going to kind of brandish my staff that has this crystal that they probably recognize in it. And I am going to channel divinity, Radiance of the Dawn.
Okay.
So every hostile creature within 30 feet that doesn't have total cover has to make a con save, DC 14, or take a bunch of damage.
Okay. Surprisingly, the crew got like a 15 on the die. That being said, their crew, it may not matter as much. They're probably not as tough as the martial artists. However, both martial artists failed.
Okay. So the total damage is going to be 16 radiant. They'll take half damage on success.
Okay. So for the crew members, they are all injured.
Yeah.
They are not necessarily down, though.
Yeah.
And you said it was 16 damage for the failed saves?
Correct.
But you see both of the martial artists, their skin just starts to burn and they kind of cry out in pain.
And I
looks up at you and you hear in your head, You'll pay for that, little priestess.
And I will shout, oh shit, I can't even remember the name of the deity at this point. It's been that long.
Is the
What'd you say, Brian?
Ilyana?
Ilyana, that's right. Um, this, I don't know. She'll shout something like, "This is not the way of Ilyana," or some, like, I don't know. Something priestessy and stuff.
May you have shame on your family and your family's
Shame, you have
cows.
brought shame upon your.
Shame on you, shame on your cow.
Exactly.
Fair enough.
Especially your cow. Um, and as a bonus action, I'm actually going to zap the rest of my sorcery points to get a 3rd level spell back.
Gain a spell slot back.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And that is my action. That's my turn.
So Gear Keeper, not one here. So we're gonna skip to the Inspired, which I'm also gonna count as crew members, just because that's gonna be the easiest way to F with that. Must find all the stats. Jumbly, minions. No. Oh, here we go. Aha. So they're all done. 8. So, a couple of the crew members, Rhiannon, are going to attempt to basically chuck some javelins at you.
It happens.
It does happen. I'm gonna say you're probably just far enough out that it's gonna be their longer range, because javelins have a fairly short range of 30. However, these are, well, some of these are still decent. Does a 13 hit you?
No.
Okay. And then that's a 9, and does a, no, 11 will hit you then. Okay. So several javelins are kind of chucked up towards you, since you're kind of, I'm kind of assuming you're flying above the ship a little bit.
Yes.
But none of them, just due to the speed of everything kind of going on, none of them really seem to make the to land the mark, so to speak.
Awesome.
And since you are up above Rhiannon, well, I guess, is there, oh no, that was their turn. So then Amaya, as you are beginning your turn, you see a pair of daggers get launched and hit one of the martial artists in the chest. And you, and as you kind of look behind you, because they kind of came from behind you a little bit and hit, you see this young woman, well, your young woman in terms of the size of the body and the feminine features, but definitely kind of cloaked in like darker kind of charcoal black-esque clothing and a cloak, and it's got a mask with the hood up. Appears, Rhiannon, you even kind of noticed this, literally sort of appeared out of nowhere in a very kind of Nightcrawler-esque sort of poof of kind of shadowy darkness, for lack of a better term. And you see the martial artist, I mean, still up, but definitely not doing so terribly hot.
As somebody whose sorceress origin is shadow magic, do I recognize what this mystery person just was? This like a misty step? Was this?
That's a great question. And the answer is definitely somehow aligned with shadows, from what you can say. Like, you definitely see an impact. But this person does. Well, you didn't see this person cast anything, and immediately after appearing, was able to attack. And hit pretty true on the mark with these daggers, which you see as the daggers after the impact, um, like just mere moments afterwards, they just kind of dissipate into nothingness.
Okay.
However, the wounds are still very much there,
Okay.
in that regard. So at any rate, so Maya, it is now your turn. You kind of saw this happen. This person that appeared as you kind of look back is maybe about 10, 15 feet behind you, give or take.
Okay.
So not too terribly far out.
All right. Amaya will kind of call back over her shoulder. Thank you for the help, stranger. And then charge at one of the inspired that came up the staircase.
Okay. Which do you want to go after? The one that was hit with the daggers, or the one that was not hit with the daggers?
I'm gonna start with the one that was not hit with the daggers.
All right.
And we're gonna be doing a couple of sun blade swings on the first one. Oh, that was a bad die roll. I'm guessing a 12 won't hit.
A 12 will miss.
So second attack, 22 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Perfect. So that will do good damage roll. 15 points of radiant damage.
Holy crap. Okay, that I can do math. Yeah, okay. Ow, for that guy.
And then we'll go with an unarmed strike on our bonus action. God, another 2 on the die. 11's not going to hit then.
Unfortunately not.
And you know what? We still have a couple of sorcery, or not sorcery points, key points. We're going to spend 1 to make that a flurry of blows.
Okay.
And that one's a 23 to hit.
That will hit.
All right. So another 10 points of magical bludgeoning damage.
Nice. Definitely bloodied. Rhiannon, what's your passive insight? Okay.
Only 16.
I've got a passive investigation of 22.
Yeah, this is more kind of reading the intentions of the person more than anything.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah.
I think. But okay. And Amaya, is there anything else?
Nope. That will be all of my actions.
Okay.
I guess I'll just try to make sure that I'm kind of in a spot that would be much harder for the two of them to flank me when they go up next.
That's fair. And then we're gonna scroll past Orca since he's doing stuff. Okay, so we are gonna go. So it is the gonna be the top of the next round. Now, Ember, or not Ember, sorry, my apologies. Amaya, I believe I was asking you to keep track of Zaya's hit points, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And so, just to verify, the damage from last round plus the damage from the ship hitting the deck, we've got all that documented, correct?
Yes. And Zaya is getting pretty low. Oh, that's right. On my turn, I was going to also send a message to Zaya through the mind link, basically with like their naval shorthand for like start evasive maneuvers, get out of range of whatever it is that's attacking you. Like GTFO.
And you hear in your mind, but Mom, I can't leave you.
I'll be fine. We'll be in contact. We can always rendezvous later if we need. Get out of here. You can't take another one of those hits.
Okay. And so with that, then, for those that are not on Zaya, see Zaya start to peel away and kind of head in a downward angle to get the heck away from the airship that Amaya and Rhiannon are currently on or hovering over, and away from the Armada as it's approaching. Then it is top of the round, Ember. So sorry, Ember, did you hear me? Sorry, I didn't. Uh-oh.
Oh, did we lose Ember?
Ember, we might have lost your audio, unless...
I know they've been having issues with interwebs.
I see your avatar's mouth moving, but I don't hear anything, unfortunately.
Check and see if Zoom switched your microphone, because it's a jerk.
Nope.
All right, we'll come back to Ember in just a moment. Then, for now, we'll just kind of we'll move to Gavin next, then, and we'll just get back to Ember when they're able to connect back in. So Gavin, you are next.
Yes. So forgive the forgive the weirdness on the.
Oh.
They might have to redo their internet.
Maybe.
God.
Hey,
There you are.
There.
Now I gotcha.
Sons of a bitch. Okay, I'm going after the fuckers that made the hole.
Okay.
So that was up.
Yes. So they are now. The good news is they are getting closer. Because they were also they're coming down as you're going up. So the distance on them, what was probably what I said, like 600-700 feet before,
Yeah.
has easily closed to probably like closer to 200 feet.
Sweet.
And you do see, and these are some of the larger, kind of the first generation airships that were meant more for cargo hauling than and as opposed to some of the smaller vessels you've been kind of fighting up to this point that were meant more for speed uh, and whatnot. But you do say they are kind of bristling with various weaponry, and there's plenty of Marines and whatnot on board.
I would like to know what the airship is made of.
Most of them are they're still the vast majority of them are still made out of the soar wood primarily. The technological, the ironclad that
do that again.
the ironclad that you came across was something that was much more specific to Droam.
That's fair.
Yeah, he's never gonna let you do that again.
No, he's never gonna let me do that again. I fucked that up.
I'm not saying you won't ever be able to do
Beautifully
that.
said.
I'm just saying that none of these airships currently are of that style.
Okay. That
You
being
realize
said,
that the
and
spell
they're
heat
moving-
wood is just fireball, right?
Yeah. Pretty much. So yeah, with that being said, what I am going to do I am gonna move my normal 60 towards, but I'm gonna do it kind of so that I can, like, I don't know, angle, aim
Okay.
a little bit,
So
that I can get on the side of the ship
on the side. Okay.
when it's like passing by, kind of thing.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then I am gonna cast invisibility.
Nice. Okay. Sounds good. Are you doing anything else at the moment?
I don't think I've got any other tricks up my sleeve.
Alrighty. So then after Ember, we move to Gavin.
Yeah. I'm going to, at this point, just kind of link up to Zaya. And just, hey, sweetie, we're gonna go. I haven't ever flown with you before, so let's try to make this really cool, shall we?
Yep.
Uh, and I'm going to basically, I'll spend the rest of my turn because we all have airship proficiency now.
Yeah.
I'm going to spend the rest of my turn basically aiding her or whatever you need that to look like and taking evasive action, doing what we can to avoid. Yeah.
So here's how that works in terms of game mechanics.
Sure.
When you are piloting a vessel, you get to add your proficiency bonus to its AC.
Okay.
Which you are basically so you're already kind of giving Zaya that bonus to cause Zaya to be less likely to be hit with more ranged attacks from the airships.
Sounds good.
And then in addition to that, because Zaya is because you and Azaya are kind of assisting each other in the piloting, the crew of one feature effectively takes into effect, which, if I recall, gives you advantage on piloting checks when piloting checks are required.
Okay.
I'll double check that to make sure. It's been a while since I looked at the notes, but I'm pretty sure that is.
That sounds correct.
So yes, you have advantage on your vehicle air checks. If I require you to make an airship roll or whatever for piloting, you'll have advantage on your check. And it's kind of interesting because I mean, you've taken your shifts sort of captaining the helm. So I mean, you've been connected to Zaya before, because as soon as you're holding onto the controls, you have that mental link. Like, it's not even having a little token of her necessarily, because you're literally connected to her. But this is probably the first time you've been connected to her in more of a combat situation. I think. At least I don't recall you necessarily being piloting her in a combat situation.
I don't think Gavin has ever piloted her in a combat scenario.
So it's very interesting in that in kind of some ways she's almost a little bit like you're like the first mate, because you can hear her giving mental orders and commands to like the goblins to like focus fire on that ship or whatever. It's like, admittedly with the link, the link just feels way more solidified than even in times past when you've had mental discussions with her. Way more of I wouldn't say quite a battle trance sort of thing, but it definitely has. You can tell Amaya has gone through many scenarios.
Okay, fair enough.
And with Zaya, to like, here's what happens if that, at any rate. So right now we're just gonna say you're helping with that. So again, we'll add your proficiency to the AC if that should be an issue, and then the piloting stuff, we're assuming you're kind of taking on that.
So my question to you, and this is a genuine question, I'm not trying to like catch whatever I can out of the scenario. Does that take my full concentration? Like, do I have to spend my full round doing that? Does it take an action each round? Like, what level of concentration is required to do that?
I'm gonna say it's gonna be an action.
That's
but otherwise you'd still have like a movement bonus left.
Okay. That's not going to what.
I mean, if you don't, well, let's put it this way: if you are not giving the bonuses to her, then you have your full action counting.
Right. But if I had a secondary idea that if I could get away with stealing an action and still give her the bonuses, I was going to try. But I want to make sure that she has the bonuses. I want to make sure that we can get the fuck out of Dodge. So I'm going to focus my whole energy on getting her out. So.
Sure. Okay.
All right. That is my turn.
All right. After Gavin is the martial artist. So Amaya, the one martial artist you moved up to will definitely engage you in combat, in hand-to-hand combat. You see the other one actually moves up to the kind of the cloaked individual because that was the one that ultimately got hit with the daggers and wants a little revenge. So we'll start with the one on you. It starts engaging you in hand-to-hand combat.
Okay.
I doubt an 11 hits.
No.
Does a 23 and a 20?
Yes, those both do.
Okay. So the first hit's going to be for 7 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And then I need you to make a strength saving throw. Well, actually, let me ask you this. Is your Sunblade currently in your hand?
It is. And 21 on the strength saving throw. 21.
Okay, you're good there. The second hit will be another 7 damage, and Actually, make another strength saving throw.
Oh, balls! That's in that one.
Okay.
No.
So you drop your sunblade.
Mm.
As this martial artist, much like you, is definitely focusing on kind of like grabbing your wrist and coming in with their hand like underneath to hit kind of the nerve cluster a little bit.
Sure.
And the first time didn't succeed and kind of grunts and does it again and manages to this time dislodge the blade. Let's see. Well, probably it's fairly similar results. So let's see.
Oh, I'm about to do something stupid.
You see,
You're being responsible today.
you see and as you kind of look back, because you're kind of keeping your eye, making sure the other one wasn't going to flank you, and as you look back, you see the other one comes in with a series of kind of like a fly and a kick followed by a kind of series of attacks, and you see at one point kind of smashes into the face of this shadowy ally and kind of tears away their kind of tearing away their mask, and you see a little bruised and battered Zonalaya.
Huh.
However, she doesn't seem to have to say a whole heck of a lot at the moment because she's also in a fight for her life right now. So yay. But that is what you happen to notice as her hood kind of gets torn back a little bit, but also that mask just kind of got ripped away, getting clocked in the jaw.
That was Zonalaya.
Zonalaya. Which if I
Grandma.
Oh fuck, that was Grandma. Then I put the wrong name. Never mind.
I was gonna say, I can see it happening, but holy shit, Grandma, what are you doing here?
My apologies. I grabbed the wrong name.
Dun, dun, dun.
Is it Amaya's sister? Tell me it's Amaya's sister.
Oh yeah, sorry, it is Katari. My apologies. I apparently wrote her name in wrong on the thing, but that's all right because I got to reprint it anyway.
So sister.
That's fair. Little sister.
I guessed it right. Yeah.
But yeah, sorry, not Zonalaya. My apologies. It is Katari.
That would have been a real interesting character interaction. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Also, Grandma's kind of a badass.
Right.
Right? Go Grandma.
I mean, I haven't statted her, but she's
So
probably
glad
way
you
tougher
have her
than I have
genes.
statted for Katari, so
Damn.
Oh yeah, guaranteed.
Guaranteed.
Grandma ain't no slouch.
But yes, and Ember, you even see as the hood's pulled back, you also see this kind of very platinum blonde-esque, kind of hair kind of spill out.
Holy shit, she's hot.
Does Amaya say anything when she sees her sister?
I think Amaya would probably try to keep any reaction pretty close to the vest. That would probably be like an insight.
I'm gonna say for now, Rhiannon, because of the chaos and stuff going on, you definitely notice there's some sort of likeness, but the most you can kind of process at this point is probably another flashlight.
Yeah, no, and that's totally fine. That's why I was asking if Amaya said anything, because if she doesn't say anything, I'm assuming that I'm not gonna notice. It's the middle of battle.
But Rhiannon, you are next in initiative.
I am next. I am probably very stupidly going to land on the deck behind the person attacking Amaya. I'm gonna flank him.
You will be kind of on the stairs, and almost kind of on the lower, on the stairs going up to the deck because the person's
I
kind of
mean,
right at the top.
then I'll fly, so I'm flanking them.
You'll still be able to hit them.
Yeah.
Like it's not like you won't be able to hit them, but just to give you an idea of kind of where the positioning is.
Okay.
If you're looking at a sideways, you'd be kind of like right there.
That's fine. Essentially, I primarily want to make sure that Amaya has advantage on attacks, but I am gonna reach out and touch someone.
Okay.
My mouse just died. That's fine.
Fucking tap.
Anyway, I'm gonna reach out and touch someone, and I am going to attack Mr. Grumpy Pants there.
Okay.
Hang on, I'm trying to see what level I want to cast this at. How hurt does he look? Does he look like he's bloodied?
Yeah, close.
Close, okay. That's fine. I will go ahead and cast Inflict Wounds at 2nd level.
Okay.
Oh, I probably have advantage, because that probably doesn't.
You are flanking him with a
I am
so
flanking.
you would have
That would be a natural 20 for a total of 26.
because it is a touch attack, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a crit.
Mm-hmm. One of the dice was... that's going to be 44 points of necrotic damage.
Whew.
So Maya, you're sitting there facing this guy, kind of processing the fact that like your little sister's on board the ship, and you see the martial artist guy, after kind of clocking in, kind of smiles as he sees your sword drop, and starts to reach for it, and then all of a sudden dissolves into a puddle of fleshy goo before dissipating into nothingness.
Hi!
Because he had like 34 hit points, you just disintegrated him.
It looked like you could use some help. You got this?
Amaya just kind of gives a quick curt nod.
Cool. And I will, yeah, that's what I do.
I mean, you've seen what happens when gremlins get hit with sunlight, right? You've seen what happens. That is what happened.
I'm just thinking the Nazi from Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yes, love that.
That actually is also a wonderful, horrible image to... Yeah, either one will work. Is that it for Rhiannon's turn?
That is it for Rhiannon.
Okay, then it will be Amaya and Amaya's sister.
Okay. Well, first things. Would it be like part of a move action to pick up a weapon from the ground?
Yeah, I'd say if you don't want to be, I mean, if you want to try and be, I'll say this. If you want to just like absolutely make sure you grab it, I'd say call it like getting up from prone, half your movement. However, if you wanted to try and like kick it up into your hand, it would maybe be I'd call it like maybe an acrobatics roll, but if you did, then maybe it only costs you like 5 feet of movement. It's up to you.
About how far away am I from the other martial artist that's now attacking? Sorry.
Roughly about 30 feet, give or take.
Would be just a little bit far. You know what, Evan, we'll try that acrobatics.
Okay.
Try to get the sword up quicker.
All right.
Oh, that was cool. almost a nat 1, but came out a 19 on the die, so 27.
Easily.
Okay. Kick up the blade, snapping it out of midair, and then I'm charging at the other martial artist and trying to put it directly between me and Utari.
Okay.
And then I go whole hog.
All right. You get advantage.
Get it.
You are fighting effectively, kind of flanking again.
All right, that will be a total of 29 to hit them with advantage.
Yeah, we'll hit.
So that will deal 15 points of radiant damage.
Okay.
It'll go Amaya. Ember.
Ooh.
Just to let you know, your sister got upgraded on the guy. So then it's your. You know what? Rhiannon, you happen to notice this. As soon as Amaya gets into range with this other person and the combatant, the way they are moving is like in a sort of lockstep. Where like you can tell they haven't said a word to each other. Now, granted, they could be mind linked, you don't know, but they are moving in such a like lockstep of like when Amaya goes high, the gal immediately goes low, and
they've obviously trained together.
They definitely looks like,
or at least that's the conclusion that Rhiannon would draw. Yeah.
They're definitely familiar with each other. We'll leave it at that. And
I would say it would probably look very similar to how Amaya and Zaya act now when they're like doing drills and things. Now they've been doing that for a while, like that kind of sync.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the second attack was a 16 to hit.
That will also hit.
Oh, good. And he will take another 10 points of radiant damage.
And how would you like to do this? You clobbered the enemy.
All right. So going along with that kind of super in sync kind of behavior, Amaya kind of goes low, Gitari kind of goes a little bit higher, distracting him upwards, and Amaya basically like cuts his legs out from under him, knocking him down to the ground, and then in kind of just like a flourish, like the blade spins and then just plunges straight down into him, into the deck, and then just gets pulled back with a flow.
Nice. And so that martial artist is dead as a doornail.
And were there still some other crew peoples that were alive and conscious on the ship here?
There are below the deck. However, you get the sense that not like. Some of them are, as they see the scary shadow light lady kind of floating, hovering there, they are, for the most part, not seeming willing to engage at this point. They're kind of, especially since some of their officers just got gutted and pinned to the deck of the ship. So they do not seem to be approaching at this point. They're just kind of warily, like, seeing what you all are going to do. Either that or trying to get the gumption to charge up the steps or something.
Okay. Then Amaya is going to move over towards the helm, kind of what movement she has left around there. And as she's moving towards the helm, is going to shout out over the deck of the ship. I am now in command here. If you want to live, you'll follow my orders.
Just.
Okay.
Commodore Amaya.
The Commodore is
hail.
back.
All hail!
All right. After Maya, Barca is growling, whatever. So top of the round would be Ember. Now, Ember, the ships are going to. Were you trying to latch on to one of the ships as it passes by?
Basically, I was gonna land on the deck
Okay.
on the first one that I could, so that I was in the middle of the.
Okay. So,
But I know I couldn't exactly do that, so like, as it was passing by, like, grab onto the deck railing, I guess.
no, and that's fair. I just wanted to double check because I realized that their movement is probably a bit. When they go, it's probably a bit faster movement wise.
Right.
So you are able to, but you're invisible. Shouldn't be an issue. You're able to latch on as the ships continue to kind of try to bear down on Zaya. Granted, right now they're maintaining to kind of keep a distance because they're descending. But I mean, you can definitely tell in general the larger ships are maybe not as fast as Zaya on a straightaway, as opposed to right now they're using gravity to their advantage a little bit.
Now these ones are actually piloted.
All of the elemental, so all of these airships are elemental vessels. They all have the elemental rings. They are piloted.
Right. So the quickest way to bring this sucker down is to take out the pilot. Yes.
To either take out the pilot or to somehow take out the elemental ring.
Yeah, the pilot's my best shot. Okay, so basically what I would like to do is fly right behind the pilot.
Okay. I would like you to go ahead and make a, we'll call it a stealth roll with advantage, because you're invisible.
Sure. Oh, that was terrible. It was terrible. 10.
Okay. And here's the thing, there's a lot of, I mean, granted, there's a lot of movement on decks as you see, like you see squads of Marines that are getting ready with like grapples and whatnot. You see the artillery crews of the various catapults or whatnot, are like loading and aiming and firing and loading and aiming and firing and that whole process and commands. And commands are kind of being shouted between officers to the crew and whatnot, so it's all kind of a chaotic mess, and even with flying a little bit in some parts and kind of just even popping up slightly to hover as the ship, using the ship's momentum to kind of get there. You do land probably on the command deck of the ship and get near to where the pilot is, but at the kind of the very end of it, you bump into this heavily. Well, at first you think it's like a knight in maybe like plate mail, but as it turns around, you see these glowing red eyes as you realize you kind of crashed into a warforged.
Oh, fuck.
And you hear its metallic voice go, "Intruders!"
And I go, beep, and immediately
I immediately regret my decision.
Immediately regret my decisions. But I was going to be throwing off a spell. Hang on. Yep. Okay. Okay. So I was gonna throw off a shatter, which had a radius
Okay.
of stop it, ugh. It's a 10-foot radius.
Okay.
So anything within that diameter has to make a con save
All right. I'll say.
of
Um,
15.
we'll say the Warforged, and I'll say the pilot, since you're. I mean, obviously trying to pilot.
The Warforge actually, I think they have disadvantage. Yes. Anything that has, any creature that's made of inorganic materials such as stone, crystal, or metal has disadvantage on the saving throw.
Okay. And what was? And sorry, what type of saving throw was it?
Con 15.
Con 15. The Warforged does not make it. The pilot just barely makes it.
Cool. So they're gonna save for half.
But the Warforged not so much.
So it's 22 thunder damage. And then also anybody that fails. Hang on. Any non-magical object that isn't being worn, carried is also takes damage with that spell too.
It's fair. So for the pilot, they kind of grunt and groan as this shatter effect happens. You see the Warforged almost kind of drops to a knee. Its shield just splinters into pieces as it looks up at you, and you see like kind of huge rents in its armor plating, and kind of almost like if a brittle metal will start to crack a little bit on an impact. Like you see its entire body is just laced with that, and it just looks at you not happy at all.
I just flick my hair back and go, "Don't you know it's rude to scare a lady?"
Fair enough. Is that it for your turn?
I wish I had more stuff, but I guess that's all she wrote.
All right. Gavin, you are next.
I'm going to continue flying Zaya to the best of my ability. I am curious if I dedicate my full round action, bonus action, move action, standard action, can I grant the dodge action to Zaya?
Ooh.
Yeah, sure. We'll allow it. That sounds fun.
That's a good
Cool.
idea.
So I will devote my entire turn to continuing to run Zaya as as pilot, and then granting dodge action so that attacks have disadvantage. And if I see the fucking thing coming, Zaya will have advantage on reflex saves, dexterity saves, because it's not bad.
That's fucking clever.
I am, and that reminded me I should be rolling, but with you and Zaya kind of coordinating, so to speak, and you keeping an eye on things and reporting things, then Zaya does not get hit this turn with any attacks.
Nice.
You do look up though, and you see that so Zaya's kind of pulling the same trick they are, where it's kind of using the descent to your advantage as far as to kind of gain momentum and speed. So you see at about this point in time, you see that Zaya is probably about maybe only like 100 feet above the ocean surface at this point, and is kind of starting to level out a bit.
Sure.
You do see the armada kind of approaching behind them. You see there's still, and I say part of the armada, because there's still several airships that seem to be attacking Skyhold. And I'll say because this works out great. And then you see all of a sudden you hear this horrendous sound of almost like a shrieking tear of metal. Which really draws everybody's attention for even just the briefest moments, because even as far away as you are, you hear it coming from the Skyhold, kind of the floating island that has been chained to these other bases. As you see those chains
Oh no.
detached from Skyhold, clambering down. And these are like huge ship, like cruise ship size like chains. Like each link is easily as big around as Barca. Or actually as our Jennifer, probably. But you see they all fall, and you see the island start to shoot up. You see the several airships that have been kind of bombarding it from above are trying to get out of the way as it just smashes into them. And you see, as you see it, it just keeps just kind of shooting up towards the heavens. And Amaya, granted it's out of game, it's been a little while since we played last, but you do remember Gulick, as you two were running when all this chaos sort of began, when the attack began, mentioning something about the Skyfall protocol. For whatever that's for.
Okay.
And you're guessing this might have been that.
Yeah. Good chance.
Meanwhile, Jared is sitting in his little tower as the whole thing is.
So we pick up with Gulick, Tryon, and Jaredin on the moon.
Well, no. Gulick is with Johnny on his airship.
Oh shit! So we pick up with Jaredin on the moon.
One of seven. Because I believe there are 12 of them in Eberron. There
used to be 13.
You see of the probably like 8 airships that were hovering above the Skyhold. You see 4 of them are just completely destroyed outright. Because when Skyhold falls up, it doesn't just fall up; it accelerates as it's going, and swiftly falls out of view in the night. 4 of the ships are just destroyed outright, and you see the rest of them are clipped pretty badly, but have managed to not get fully destroyed. But like you saw one get clipped and tilted on its side, and a bunch of people fall off. Like it's kind of chaos as far as that goes. And you hear the goblins are like, like they are all seeing this. They're just amazed because this is the most beautiful amount of destruction, biggest amount of destruction they've seen since well, probably Dracoskull.
We are nothing if not entertaining.
It's true.
Very true. Gavin, are you doing? So you're going to take your full action, give the dodge action. Then we will jump to Rhiannon would be next.
Okay. Okay. So with Skyhold going, did it take out 4 of the ships that were descending after us, or are these separate ships?
No, the 6 ships that were descending after you were
still
well
coming.
below and clear of Skyhold when this happened. This was the kind of the other, what was 8 vessels was what was kind of left of the armada that was still attacking Skyhold.
Okay. Amaya's fine. Her obviously closely familiar person who I don't know is also fine. Okay. How far away are the ships that are descending toward us at this point?
That's a good question. Let's call it 300 feet from the, we'll say the nearest one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to hold my action. And I will ready a. Let me make sure I have the spell slot for this. Brief hold. Yes, because I sacrificed sorcery points to get it back. I will ready a fireball to chuck at whatever ship comes, whatever hostile ship first comes within my 150-foot range.
Okay. Easy enough.
Because I'm assuming they can move much faster than I can, even with my flying.
Yes. Because they're descending, they are going a bit faster.
Yeah. So that's all I'm doing.
Okay. After Rhiannon, no gear keeper currently inspired. Okay.
Well, actually, so now that I think about it, if I'm staying here, Amaya does not have fly cast on her. I don't think so. So
yeah,
she's not.
I think Amaya
going.
just leaped to get over to the ship.
Yeah.
If I recall.
Yep.
So Rhiannon is gonna just kind of like ready the fireball and look over at Amaya and this stranger and just kind of at Amaya like, friend of yours? As she's, continuing to look upward and just is ready to pew pew.
Gotcha.
That is all.
The inspired do go next. So the crew, Amaya, that you addressed, they kind of see what's coming and look at you, and they're like they sort of do give up, but you see, while the majority of them, really all of them, as far as what you can see, are kind of raising their hands in supplication, like, okay, we're with you, kind of thing. You do see one of them kind of walks out sort of very calmly from the masses and kind of weaves their way forward slightly and goes, ah, children of light, children with their play toys. Death will come for you soon enough. even sooner than you think. And you see that person then kind of runs towards the where the entryway would be into the crystal chamber where the elemental ring, the elemental is stored.
Ah,
Um, and as soon as they enter in, you feel through the ship a bit of an explosion, and then it feels like the world falls out from underneath you as the ship, the ring, the brightness of the ring that the elemental ring goes and dissipates into nothingness, and you feel the entire ship start to descend. I would like Rhiannon and Amaya and Amaya's sister to make we'll call it a dexterity saving throw.
I'm still flying, Brian.
I will give you advantage because you are flying.
I mean, like okay, I can't fall, but
nat 20 for a total of 29.
Okay.
Maya's just walking on sunshine now.
so a nat 20 for a 23.
Okay, so you two are able to effectively get out from underneath parts of the ship before it would necessarily clip you. As the ship begins to fall, and you hear the scream of all the crew members on board that have now been sacrificed. Your sister, unfortunately, was not so lucky. And you see gets clipped and starts kind of pinwheeling in the air as she starts falling. And I need to roll the damages. Yeah, okay. As admittedly, she was not prepared for the loss of stability of that.
Fair.
Rhiannon, you the other airships do approach, so you are able to do your fireball because you said you were ready in action. So feel free to just roll the damage.
Feel free.
Okay. I pew pew. 26 points of fire damage, and it does, I believe, catch on fire.
Okay.
Yeah, it ignites flammable objects in the area.
Yeah, so you launch a fireball and creating a fire on the deck of one of the vessels as it is rapidly as they are starting to approach. That was the inspired Maya.
Amaya is immediately going to dash
and Maya, you are falling,
right,
but you're probably more like a parachuter. You're able to control your descents a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Amaya is doing everything that she can. Like if there's a piece of ship that she avoided being clipped by, but could still use to like push off of, and is basically going to try to get over to grab hold of her sister.
Okay. Tell you what, go ahead and we'll call this an acrobatics roll. I'm going to say with disadvantage.
Can I roll it straight since I got a nat 20 on the deck save to not be caught free falling unawares?
No, I mean you're still. I mean you don't have any flight capabilities, so you're still kind of. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna be an evil game
All
master.
right. Acrobatics with disadvantage. All right. Here we go. Yep. Oh, hot damn. 25.
That's
Oh.
with okay.
I rolled a 17 and an 18.
Hey, rock on. Yeah, you in a very sort of anime or superhero style, you are able to sort of leap off of falling components of the. I mean,
Yeah,
physics
you
is
only
more
need
of a guideline than a rule for you, apparently. So yeah, you just kind of.
just 3 words. Dope monk shit.
Yeah.
Dope monk shit. That's
All you
We
need.
love our we
there
love
you
our
go.
dope monk shit.
No.
And I will say you are able to end up sort of kind of tackling into your sister, but you are together.
Okay.
You've got a hold of her.
All right. Then I will mind link up with her and say via mind link. I don't suppose you have a way out of this, do you? As I'm kind of like trying to stabilize us and keep us from like spinning around anymore. And
I don't know if I can take you with me, and we need to get a hell of a lot closer to your ship. I
if you've got something that can get you out of here, do it. I'll be fine.
I can help. Just fucking go.
Well, and there are now. I guess Rhiannon, because you had the ready to action for the fireball, so you're still like they are now falling while you're still kind of up.
Yes, I know.
Okay. Fair enough. So your sister, you see she is torn. Like she wants to like she. You get the sense like she can take care of herself in this certain circumstance, although she needs to get closer to your ship. But you see, she's kind of like, I don't know if I can take you with me.
Don't worry about if you can take me with you or not. And then out loud, she'll just kind of shout out like, Rhiannon, any help you could assist or lend would be appreciated.
I'm on my way.
You hear, I mean, this is all free fall plus a battle going on here. You hear,
I mean, I can see them dropping. Like, I'm not an idiot.
No.
How fast are they falling, just for my reference?
That is a great question, and I believe they touched upon that in Tasha's, which, if I recall, terminal velocity ends up being like, I forget if it's 300 feet or 500 feet. I will have to double check, as I honestly don't remember. Because why should I know all the rules? That's not fun. Everybody should know the rules. So 500. So you fall basically 500 feet at around.
500 feet in 6 seconds? That
For
seems...
when you get to terminal velocity, so they're probably about, we'll call it 300 feet, because
They're still accelerating.
But realistically, Amaya, that also means that you probably only have about a round of falling before you're going to hit something.
That's fair.
I don't know that I'll be able to help quickly enough. Oh no. Sorry, I just lost some cookie in my coffee. It's fine.
That was Amaya's turn then?
Yes, that is Amaya's turn.
Okay. So your sister, tell you what, let's do we'll call it
Oh, I bet I can do this.
we'll call it a constitution thing. No, okay. As you are approaching, the ocean, the surface, Amaya, you do see, as you kind of get close, that your sister, you see your sister's like struggling super hard, like trying to get something to work, and is like, I'm sorry, I can't take you with me, and then disappears in this kind of shadowy sort of bamf of darkness.
I want that.
And
Good.
And
What
then
is that?
and basically then you see just kind of reappears in the ocean.
Okay.
So what are you going to do?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Well, Amaya was basically just if Katara didn't have anything to get both of them out of there, Amaya was just going to use her slow fall reaction to reduce the damage she took from hitting the water.
Okay.
At this point, it would take a metric fuck ton of damage to outright kill her.
To outright kill her, yes.
Fine, we're
As long as you
practically gods.
Why? Why?
No, you did not just
Damn it,
say that
Phoenix.
phrase.
I did. I did. I went there.
We're going down, folks.
All right, let me double check something real quick here. Yeah.
I am a bad person.
My apologies. Give me just a brief moment here.
Because falling damage max is at 10d6, right?
20d6.
No? 20d6. Yeah, it's fine.
Stop with the dice rolling.
It is 20d6.
She hasn't hit the water yet, though. She's got another round. Yeah?
Well, I think we're kind of doing the 2 rounds in one go here.
But I have a thing that could help.
What is the thing that could potentially help?
Okay. We'll get back to that in just a moment. Ember, back to y'all. Oh, and actually, I should have. And sorry, I got a little distracted with something. The Warforged should have taken a swing at you. Does a 23 hit?
Yes.
So that'll be 6 slashing damage, as basically you see the Warforged kind of stand up, and you see as it does, you see its hand kind of collapse into its arm, and this blade come out, and just kind of brings it into your, tries to bring it into your gut a little bit. You manage to duck out of the way, but it does kind of clip the side, your side a little bit, for 6 slashing damage, if I did not say.
Yep. Rude.
And then,
Very rude.
and then kind of comes in to swing with it again. Does a 21 hit you?
Yes, it hits.
For 6 more slashing damage, as it then does another cut kind of across your belly a little bit.
Okie dokie.
And now we should be top of the next round, which will be Ember.
Well, all these rude people. What is happening? That was kind of effective. And Mr. Warforge is kind of not happy.
Mr. Warforge is very much not happy. I will say, as far as your immediate surroundings, like now that your spell kind of went off, and you do see there is kind of a call to arms, and you do see that some of the Marines and whatnot, there's probably a good squad of them or two that are beginning to approach the command deck and will probably arrive this round to potentially engage and or surround you. So just to be aware of that. The pilot is still up, although they are a bit injured from your spell. And the Warforged is definitely savaged by your spell.
Sweet.
And that's kind of your immediate surroundings.
Well, I came here to do a thing, and Mr. Warforge is in my way.
Oh, and actually, Ember, or Rhiannon, pick a number 1 through 6.
4.
Okay, the fireball was not on the ship that Ember was on.
Damn it.
Sorry, Ember.
Because Ember would have been totally fine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What's more badass than just standing in the middle of a fireball with two birds up in the air going, haha, fuck you guys.
That's fair.
That's really good coffee, babe.
But I just do my next best thing and sing the highest pitched note that I know in trying to break everything in a 10-foot radius again.
With another shatter?
With another shatter.
And remind me, what type of saving throw was it?
Con 15, disadvantage if you've got metal.
And it's good that the Warforged rolled with disadvantage, because the first roll was a nat 20. However, Karma's a bitch, because the next roll was a nat 1. And the pilot did not make it this time either. So
excellent.
They are both forcacking.
Ooh. And I got 26. 26
Nice.
Thunder.
So with this horrid sound of screeching metal, you see the Warforged just kind of go poof, and all these metallic shards and components and fibrous strands that are just shredded, and is a pile of junk. And you see actually the pilot who was getting ready to do something, you're guessing, brings their hand up and then all of a sudden clutches their skull as you just see blood coming out of pretty much all the ears and the nose and the eyes and then just collapses.
And I just stroll up to the deck, onto the pilot deck.
Okay.
I don't know if I can just crank the wheel. Is it a wheel? I'm sorry. I'm really not.
No, that's okay. I need you to make a
I literally want to make the worst piloting thing ever and just steer this into the closest ship.
well, admittedly, it's not as easy to do because you have to have a bit of
I mean, I've got airship.
right, but with the elemental airships, you have to have the ability to command the elemental to do it. So I'm just double checking.
Does it happen to be a fire elemental in the
Right.
elemental ring?
Does it speak primal?
Hold on. I'm looking up the rules for an airship. Give me a moment, please.
Because that one fire elemental did
Yeah,
refer
they
to.
call me a princess.
Yep. So, I'm just saying.
My princess.
And the more you're pushing it,
Power.
before I have a chance to take a quick peek, the more likely I'm going to be mean. So, shush. For just a moment.
We got shushed.
So, even or odd, Ember?
Oh boy. Odd.
And I rolled a 5. It is a fire elemental. As you grab a hold of the helm, you feel a connection with the elemental being. And normally it would, well, quite frankly, resist you because you're not its normal pilot. But you feel for this very brief moment, there's this flash of this wall of burning, like, sort of anger and hatred over its being used in a fashion it doesn't like. But then that quickly fades away as you actually do recognize or get a sense that it recognizes you somehow. And you just kind of hear in your mind, because you know with the piloting, the piloting controls for the airship, that you effectively kind of can have a bit of a mental link with the elemental involved, but you communication-wise, as far as kind of steering and whatnot, basically hear it beg, "Free me, princess."
I freely grant you freedom as long as you burn this ship to the ground.
And you get this sort of frustrated feeling kind of wafting back to you with the smell of with oddly the sort of the smell of almost like a campfire a little bit, but you realize it's more of a mental sensory thing than an actual, like, physical sensory thing. As you realize that, because you've been around the houses long enough, you know that the elemental is bound into a kyber crystal of a fairly large size for it to become effectively the engine for one of these airships. So it cannot get out.
Oh, so I just need to break it.
Break it by ramming it into the other ship.
We'll get to the piloting, because that was all kind of year round as far as that goes.
Yeah.
But,
No, that's fair.
So after Ember, we're going to Gavin.
Same as before.
Okay.
Gonna keep granting the dodge action to Zaya.
Fair enough.
Maybe try to get to where you can scoop up Amaya.
I genuinely don't know where Amaya is, so I have no reason to think that she has she's in any kind of danger.
Well, I mean, Zaya would know.
Zaya has not communicated that to me.
Gavin, what's your passive perception?
10.
Yeah, you wouldn't necessarily see her.
So unless Zaya mentions something, I'm gonna kind of keep going as before.
Okay. Then it would be Rihanna.
Okay. I was on the ship As it started to fall, I started to go with it. I managed to get a fireball off. How far away from... How far away am I from Amaya at this point?
I'll say about, since I said, I'll say roughly about 300 feet or so. But you do know if you fall, so to speak, you could catch up to that distance.
I'll allow myself to fall. To catch up with her.
Okay.
And I will cast haste on myself.
Okay.
Thereby doubling my flight speed of 60.
Okay.
I will then use my hasted action to grab Amaya.
Okay.
And use whatever movement I may have left, if I have any left, to try to halt our fall.
I'm going to say go ahead and make an athletics check.
Okay.
Because even though Amaya is not trying to stop you, the fact that you are falling in the speed and the chaos.
That's a natural 1.
Okay. Now I'm going to be nice because you've been writing a lot of notes to remind you that you do have a GM inspiration.
I do have a GM inspiration. I'm gonna use it and re-roll that. Because that was bad.
That's fair.
There's a 14. That's much better.
And 14 is good enough. Because again, Amaya's not going to try and stop you from saving her. It's more of just the speed and the not grabbing her without just smashing together and then hitting the rocks below or what have you. But you are able to get a hold of her and stop her fall. You're probably, by the time you guys with your fly and everything decelerate to the point where you're not hitting the ocean water, you're probably hovering like maybe 30 or 40 feet above the ocean. And you do see, and so it's interesting, the closer you are to the ocean, like, the humidity is way more as you are, like, oh, right, tropical jungle, like, it was so much nicer in Skyhold where you had that airflow, and it's like, so like, you feel that heat just kind of wave on you, and then as you're sitting there holding Amaya, and granted, the sweat you're having could be more stress induced than the heat, but it kind of all adds up a little bit as you're kind of gripping on for dear life. And then you hear from the ocean, so I was like, well, fuck! If you told me that, god damn it! And you see the gal in the dark clothes kind of treading water, looking up at the two of you floating, about 40 feet above her.
I will respond to her, yeah, well, if I knew who the fuck you are. And then can I just shoot a quick message to Zaya?
Okay.
Zaya, honey? Your mom is hovering above the ocean. Can you come pick us up? Can we get a ride?
Time for a wet rescue.
Yep, and Gavin, you're like, it takes you a moment and you're almost thrown off, but like Zaya kind of grabs onto you a little bit as the ship kind of pulls effectively like a 180. kind of almost like a skidding 180 sort of thing, if you could think of it that way. And of course, for those that are watching this via the Spaceballs cam, you hear. But yeah, you you see Zaya off in the distance, kind of
Excellent.
doing a fairly tight turn, like if you were not connected to the deck, you would probably fall off.
Yeah, she's pulling a tight Yui.
Yeah. But is able to start making their way back towards you guys. They are not quite there yet. But
nah, but they're fast. Does the stranger in the water answer me?
We'll get to that on her / Maya's turn.
All right, that's Rhiannon.
After Rhiannon, then it would be the regular inspired. So, Ember, the different squads, for lack of a better term, of Marines are going to start to kind of surround you, and you see that, and you actually hear this voice kind of echoing out. Strangely, not out loud, but kind of in your mind a little bit, almost. You're guessing it's kind of hit to all of them as they kind of come. Goes like, "I want her taken alive." And so, with that, they are going to attempt to effectively dogpile on you and try to pin you. I would like you to roll either an athletics roll or an acrobatics roll.
Okay.
I'm going to say for this first round, just because some of them can only kind of come up the stairs, so like while they're still trying to grab you, they're not necessarily completely engulfing you. I'm not going to give you disadvantage, but because there's enough of them, I'm going to give them advantage on their roll.
That's fair. It's not going to go well anyway.
However, they rolled crappy, so you never know.
I got a 15 on my acrobatics.
Okay, you are, and actually I got a 13. So, you see they start to surround you, and like some of them are using their grapples to try to their grapple ropes to try to loop around you or whatever, and you are not, you are able to, duck and weave. Like apparently some of the martial training with Amaya is really paying off. At one point, they try to loop the rope on your wing, and it just burns it. Because, fire.
Fire, dude.
But you do.
Fire's hot.
But but they are, even though they are not able to get a hold of you as of yet, you do know they are definitely closing the gap, and they kind of back you up a little bit too, as they basically make more space to bring more of them in. So they are.
Oh no! I'm being surrounded. Oh no!
But they have not grabbed you.
This is the worst thing ever. Don't surround me. No! I'm sorry.
I don't appreciate the sarcasm.
Sounds like Ember's getting ready for like a gangbang.
So it does.
When you call me out on it, it just makes it look small.
I'm so I got too excited. I'm sorry.
See,
so that would be the inspired. Amaya, it is your turn. You and your sister's turn.
Okay. Rhiannon, we need to go get her and then get back to Zaya if we can.
Well, and
who the fuck is she?
And actually, Amaya, your passive perception. What is your passive perception?
19.
Oh, you see Zaya is approaching. Like, Zaya's coming to get you.
Yeah, Rhiannon would just say, I already called for Zaya. Who the fuck is this, and why should they be on our ship?
tell you when we get back.
Because otherwise I'm leaving her in the ocean.
You know, if you're leaving her, then you're leaving me.
No.
Just to kind of emphasize the point,
folks.
So we'll.
Amaya, in the kind of spirit of things, and because she's still feeling a little bit sassy after everything that happened on the airship, she's gonna like extricate herself from Rhiannon and just fall the rest of the way to the water.
Okay.
I mean, you can try.
And we'll succeed.
I would like Rhiannon, you can roll athletics, and Amaya, you can roll either athletics or acrobatics, as this is effectively an opposed grapple.
What is happening?
Oh, not great on the die. 13.
19, bitch! You're still mine!
So you
I have this mental image of like Amaya starting to try to get out of Rhiannon's grip, and Rhiannon's like, "Oh fuck no," and does like the backpack, like wraps her legs around Amaya, and it's just like, "You're not fucking going anywhere." Yeah.
And admittedly, Amaya, it would. You don't. In addition to that, you just don't have the leverage because you're not the one flying the two of you.
Right.
So you
I
have
will
nothing,
also. Oh, it's not my turn yet. Never mind.
At any rate, so what I'm gonna do, the ship, Zaya pulls up. You're able to get on board. Actually, as you kind of fly up and onto the deck, you see the woman appears in kind of a puff of darkness on board the deck, fully waterlogged. As that goes.
Well, that works too.
But you are on deck. For the most part, we're gonna kind of cut away from initiative for a moment, but I want to get back to Ember. You're shaking your head. What? Ember.
Yeah.
It is your turn.
Cool. How many?
Well, how many are surrounding you?
Yeah, how many in radius-wise?
Oh,
like how far deep do they go?
I'd say there's probably a solid, maybe like 20 of them starting to surround you.
Ooh, that's a lot to take, Ember.
That is. That is. Okay, are they all Warforged? Are they straight people?
They are mix and match. There are a couple of Warforged. You see, most are various humanoids. They're kind of a motley group. Nothing too real crazy or out there for the most part. So, like, you see a couple of shifters, a bunch of humans, some half elves, maybe a couple of gnomes and halflings in there too, and a couple of dwarves. Maybe like two. I'd say like 2 or 3 of them are warforged as far as the.
No, that's fair.
This immediate crew that's surrounding you.
Sorry. Cool. So I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out my little absorption rod and let out a discharge of a 5th level spell.
Okay.
Because that thing's been collecting shit.
Okay. And what? So you're and so what fifth level spell are you casting with that energy? Because I think you channel the energy into a
Yeah,
spell. Right?
yeah. I channel energy into a spell. So I am going to do. You know what? I'm gonna no. We're gonna do a 20-foot. It's a 20-foot diameter. We're gonna do synaptic static. So I am going to just make everybody's brain all fuzzy.
Now,
That is an intelligence save.
are you trying to center that on the group surrounding you?
Mm-hmm.
So they are surrounding that you. That would put you in the area of effect as well. Then.
I can center it anywhere 120 feet. So
Okay. Well,
basically, I want it everybody.
you won't necessarily be able to get all of them. Then you can get a chunk of them, no problem. But you wouldn't necessarily be able to get all of the ones that are surrounding you.
Unless you also get yourself.
Right.
Unless you also get yourself.
That's fair.
Just with how I mean they are kind of, because as I mentioned, they're kind of surrounding you to capture you, as it were.
But yeah, I'll get I guess as many
They definitely all want to take you.
as I don't they all? Yeah, that's it'll be fine. It'll be fine. It's fine.
Okay, so for so are you just grabbing a knocking off a chunk of them then, so to speak?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell you what, roll me go and roll me 2d6.
8.
So you will affect 8 of them. What is the save? It was an intelligence?
Mm-hmm.
And what was
Intelligence. Sorry, 15?
Okay, so nat 1. Fail. They all fail.
Okay, so then they have muddled thoughts for a minute. During that time, they roll a d6 and subtract that number from its attack rolls and ability checks, as well as constitution saves to maintain any kind of concentration.
Okay.
You can make an intelligence save at the end of its turn
To try to get rid of it.
to try to get rid of the fuzz.
Gotcha.
But everybody in the house takes 30 points of psychic.
Ow.
Ouchie.
As I make them
Drop.
regret so many life
Yes, you make them drop.
decisions.
As you they don't even get a chance to be befuddled as you cast this. The 8 of them basically scream out in agony and then just collapse.
Achoo!
Now that was your action. You do have a move and a bonus. There's still about 12 guys that are now forming sort of a half circle.
I mean, 12 is more manageable.
I just do the slow turn to the other half and just look at them with a cocked head and go, really?
Really, really.
Um, I would like you now to make a, believe it is wisdom saving throw?
Oh shit.
Let me double check.
That's not good, guys.
You got this.
No.
I have faith in you.
Ember is many things, and wise is
Yes, a wisdom saving throw.
goody. Okay. 9.
Question though. Have you used your blessing from Soyakatra yet?
What
It gives you a reroll.
I have not.
Just gonna point out that it gives you a reroll.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Thank you for that reminder. I will
You're welcome.
use that blessing.
Well, and I believe it's a one-time use, yes?
It is a one-time use.
Oh.
So now you can mark it off your sheet because you know you've used it.
Okay.
Or what have you.
Oh god. Wee! 11!
Better.
Okay. So you kind of spin saucily to the other half, kind of looking over at them, like pointing to the dead guys, like, given that you really want to do this, when all of a sudden you hear this sort of kind of whispered, and all of a sudden you feel your entire body lock into place. You are effectively immobilized. And then
I send a mayday to Zaya.
And then, as you're doing that, I would like you to make one more saving throw.
Shit.
And I just want to double check what it is. Okay, so as you go, you kind of reach out, going, "Made," and you all of a sudden darkness descends upon you, and you go unconscious.
Shit.
And that, I think, is a good time to take a little break. So, for those that are watching in the stream, we'll be back in a few minutes. When we see you, and but I think this is a good time for a little bio break and state
Well, fuck.
identification. So, we'll see you in a few minutes.
All right, we'll be back.
Woo!
Be armored. Brr.
Welcome back, everybody. So we've dropped out of combat. Um, as we are.
So the first question that Gavin's going to ask is, where's Ember?
Do we have a Barca on
Yeah,
ship?
Barca got dropped off.
Okay.
Like, right
Barca's
away.
on board.
Okay.
Everybody's on board except for
Ember. Where's Ember at?
And actually, yes, it's probably, well, let me rephrase. Before we dive into that, as you guys get on board, you see the airships are starting to approach and get into range as you see some catapult stones and whatnot are sprucing in the water. And ultimately, as you're Rhiannon, your immediate focus is who the hell is this chick and why should she be on our ship and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, you hear in your mind from Zaya, guys, I have an idea to avoid them, but I need everybody below decks right now. Hurry.
I go.
Amaya grabs her sister and pulls her in, just in case the mind link didn't go to her.
Gavin's gonna get everybody who's an NPC who's on deck, make sure they all get below deck, but he will also go.
Okay. You get below deck, and you see normally the sort of hatch or whatever, which you can normally, that is Zaya. You see it starts to seal off and become like the hull.
Are we living in a yellow submarine?
And you feel all of a sudden this little bit of weightlessness as you feel Zaya seem to speed down, and everybody, and you feel all of the as everyone's sitting there like, oh crap, everybody, you feel like the tendrils and stuff of the hull reach out and kind of grasp onto you because you have the safe.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever, as Zaya literally hits the water, I would like everybody to make a we'll go Constitution saving throw. You get to roll with advantage.
Oh, I'll just roll twice. Gavin is a 12.
Okay.
17 for Rhiannon.
20 for Amaya.
20 for Amaya.
Ember?
Ember's not on ship.
Oh, right, never mind.
I'm not there. Or do you want me to?
No, my apologies. That's me just brain farting.
Okay.
My bad.
That's okay. Ember can be on the ship with us.
Yes, safe and sound in my room. That
Exactly.
was not destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
So for everybody, whoever got a 15 or higher, you will only take 10 damage. Because even with the tendrils and stuff kind of holding you in place and trying to help, it's still very jarring as you can only assume from the sound of things that Zaya hits the water and then judging again from the sounds outside the hull submerges to an extent. For Gavin, you will take the 20 damage because unfortunately it was a bit harsher.
Yeah, Gavin must have not been fully lashed in, as he was probably the last one to go in since he was waiting for everybody to get below deck.
Yeah.
And so when the water hits, he just kind of wrenches, and you hear his shoulder blade kind of pop.
Yeah.
Oof.
You hear him kind of grunt in pain.
And so with that, y'all are out of combat, but
Okay, so 2 questions now. One, Zaya, honey, are we underwater?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's new. 2, who the fuck is this and why are they on our ship?
And you see the woman is like, wow, you really have a one-track mind, lady.
Inquisitive.
I do. Thank you.
First things first, does anybody know where Ember is?
First
That's
things
about
first,
the
who
point
the fuck is this and why are they
where
on
you
our ship?
realize that Ember is not on board the ship.
Now that we're underwater, is the sailing a lot more smooth? Like, are we
Oh, there's no
unlashed?
So there's no sailing because the ship doesn't have a swim speed.
I was speaking hyperbolically.
Oh,
I
are
know,
we
but-
just underwater? We're not moving?
I mean, you feel a little bit of movement here and there, and you do hear a little bit of creaking throughout.
Just floating underwater.
We're just floating underwater.
Okay,
Not so
Okay.
much floating
we're sinking.
as
Yeah, we're
sinking,
going down. Yeah,
but
or
This
you
is-
guys are.
Definitely gonna go well. Gavin kind of pats the tendril. Great.
Oh, we have a thing. We have a thing for this.
We have
Uh, a thing for the thing for Ember, because we have the thing. I pull out my flame token from Ember, which gives me an emergency sending once per day directly to her.
Yes.
okay.
And Ember, we're on Zaya underwater. Where the fuck are you? Are you okay? Do we need to rescue you? Ugh. That's my last word. Yeah.
You do not get a response back.
Yeah, I figured, but that's what Rhiannon would do, so.
Mhm. Mhm.
And
Um,
Amaya is going to ask Zaya via the mind link, if do you need to be conscious to keep us under the water? Or would now be a good time to do some healing?
meditation.
And you all kind of hear this kind of I don't honestly know.
Are you
Okay.
Are you pushing us down, or are you just going with what's happening right now?
No, mostly it's I mean, we still have a pretty full cargo hold of stuff, and I think it's kind of drawing me down for the most part. But I think it's kind of hard to see. I think and then you feel this kind of shudder as the ship, you're guessing maybe hits something, and you feel it tilt slightly, but then, and then after probably another few seconds, you all of a sudden you're like, oh, hold on, and you see the tendrils kind of lash out to everybody as you feel this sort of as you're guessing Zaya has sort of settled.
Settled. Now would probably be a good time for Zaya to meditate then.
Yeah.
I mean, I mean the everything's sealed. Like
Yep. Now is a good time to rest and recover then.
okay, glad you're safe, Mom.
You too,
Okay, we love
sweetheart.
you, honey. Take a nap.
And yeah, Zaya goes quiet, so to speak.
Ember did not return my sending, which means she's probably not able to.
So she's either dead or she's unconscious.
She doesn't feel dead, but
Or to be fair, it is a sending spell. She could be on another plane of existence.
yeah, she could be on another plane.
Gavin would know. So Gavin would also.
Yay!
So, going back to the question at hand, and Rhiannon turns back to the stranger. Who the fuck are you? And why are you on our ship?
Amaya just kind of heaves a sigh. Well, we have some time now. Thank you for your patience. This is my sister, Katari. Katari, this is Gavin, Rhiannon, Barca, and kind of goes around and introduces everyone.
Isn't this the one that you weren't sure if she was going to kill you or not?
Clearly she didn't. Hey, stop pacing for a second. And you see Gavin puts his hand on your shoulder and just resets his arm.
Ew.
Do you need some healing, love?
I mean, if you want to keep interrogating her, go for it. But otherwise, yeah, maybe.
I kind of somewhat gently give him a playful shove in the bad shoulder, but I do a cure wounds.
Okay.
Frick, snap, pop, heal.
That is the most confusing pain.
Oh, you like it.
The weirdest boner, man.
I mean, we can talk about that later. I'll cure wounds at second level.
How much is
12 points. Okay, so
just FYI, I mean, obviously we'll still have character conversation and whatnot, but you effectively can take. Well, I guess if you want to take a short rest, you're able to. If you want to go longer than that, you just got to let me know. But
I think it's going to take at least a half an hour for Zaya to heal back to full.
yeah.
She was
So
real
let's do a
hurt.
short rest.
Yeah.
Bless you.
Let's do a short rest.
okay, so you're doing a short rest. You're taking an hour, so feel free to.
What did you get into?
It's a good question. Short rest. Okay. Let's do one of those. One of those. Goodness. Maybe two of those. But it doesn't show me what my thingy is. Thank you. 64.
Okay. It's fine.
So at any rate, to continue with the conversation where we were at.
So Amaya's going to try to peel off from the group a little bit, like everybody dress your wounds. Take stock for a moment. I need to catch up with my sister for a minute. We can reconvene in 10.
Just let it go. Just let this one go. Let this one go. Obviously, she's not actively killing us.
Obviously, she's not actively killing us right this second.
Okay.
We just fought the Inspired. We don't know who the fuck is potentially in her head or whose side she's on.
You don't trust her.
She's on Zaya,
You don't
and
trust her to whoop her butt if she needs to?
I don't trust Amaya.
You see, she raises up her hands and and kind of pulls her cloak away and goes, "You have nothing to fear after all. I'm unarmed." And she just kind of sits there with this shit-eating grin. And granted, she has no weapons on her person that you can see. But
if nothing
says it with
else,
this, like shit-eating smirk, because like
Yeah, I saw daggers appear out of thin air and then disappear, bitch. I know you can do shit. Don't come at me.
If nothing else, I can guarantee that she is not on the side of the inspired. That
How
is
can you guarantee
simply
that?
because she and I are the children of our parents. If Katari had gone over to the inspired side, my parents would have killed her long ago.
That doesn't mean that she can't have been taken over recently and be doing it unwillingly.
Brienne and Gavin, you do notice when Amaya mentions her parents, the kind of the smug grin that Katari was showing kind of fades.
Perhaps we should talk about your parents. And she looks at Katari.
In due time. For now,
fucking assholes. What else do you want to know?
Many things.
I'm gonna go take a fucking
nap. And Amaya just kind of takes Katari's arm and kind of leads her back over to her quarters.
This is a bad idea.
And just kind of calls behind her, 10 minutes.
10 minutes. And your sister looks over at Brienne and is kind of pulling her and goes, well, she's a fucking delight.
Yes, I am. Thank you.
Well, we're all under quite a bit.
And when you say that, she kind of like...
You wouldn't know.
She smiles, but then she turns back to Maya and goes, fucking's got really good fucking Elven hearing, too. All right.
I do.
Well, we're all currently under quite a bit of stress, and admittedly, many of the crew are a bit of an acquired taste.
Gavin doesn't hear that, but starts, like, his nose starts bleeding a little bit.
Now, to be fair, the crew does not solely consist of the PCs. There's also Kaladin and the goblins and a lot of other crew members that are not...
I just said his nose starts bleeding a little bit. I didn't say you said anything meant him at all. You inferred that from what I said, but that may not have anything to do with it.
I will not apologize for wanting to ensure the safety of the ship and crew.
And that's fine. Amaya knows where you're coming from. Which is why Amaya's not being like, yo, back off, bitch. She's like,
no.
I get it. Give me a minute.
She respects you enough to give you a minute. Does not trust or respect your sister. At all.
Understandable.
I just want Zaya to be safe.
Mm-hmm. Well, Zaya and we gotta go get Ember, but
we definitely gotta
one thing at a time where we don't die.
Yeah, I like the not dying part.
Yeah. I thought that was a big plus.
Yeah. All right, you go chat with your sister. Don't die. Kick her ass if she tries anything.
So you take your sister aside.
Yep. I'll bring her into Maya's quarters, somewhere private. Make sure that she's got a mind link so that everything they say can just be between the two of them.
You are actually not able to get to your specific quarters because you have the kind of the upper deck as your quarters. So you have to get onto the deck to then get.
Gotcha.
You're underwater. But you could like go into the cargo hold or whatever. I mean, there's.
Yeah. Some extra or empty available room that we can.
It easily enough done. For that matter, you could go into Ember's room, but. Sorry.
Yes, were it not destroyed.
It is not destroyed, although you do see slowly the catapult stone seems to be kind of pushing up as the hull is sort of sealing around and kind of slowly forcing it up.
Fair.
But and there's a little dribble of water here and there, but just like a little drip every now and then. So I mean, there's a little water on the floor, but it's not. So I made sure to make a pretty solid seal on it before.
Yeah. And as soon as Amaya gets Qatari out of sight in a private area and has the mind link established, just pulls her into a huge, like, bone-crushing hug.
And she stabs you in the back. I knew it.
And she, at first, her body is tense because like it's kind of so sudden and whatever. But after,
Oh yeah,
after a few moments, she does relax and give you back just a huge hug.
and then through the mind link, Amaya will. Oh, sister, there are not words for how happy I am to see you alive and well. I am so sorry I left you behind. I didn't know what else to do, but I'm so glad you are here and well.
Yeah, well, we can unpack the rest of that later, but I'm more concerned with what our immediate steps are. When we sorry, a whole lot just happened, and I admit I wasn't able to get to you before now to get you alone before now to talk to you, but I'm glad you're here. May I ask, is the child with you?
She is. And we have a little bit more breathing room. We'll introduce you.
Okay, well, and introductions are good and all, but we need to get her someplace safe. Like a dump or something, because like right now, well, as you figured out, the inspired are hunting her, or him, them, whoever they are.
Yes, there's not really been a specific place to go where we'd really be very safe. Current conditions being what they are, anywhere with an anywhere an airship goes is fraught with peril. But we are doing our best to mitigate any of that and trying to stay as safe as possible.
Well, when so let me let me start, I guess, from the. So I was told through the Shadow Hunters and the Clash Star Network that you became in possession of a new quarry spirit.
Let me know if you need to say anything.
I wouldn't say I am in possession of it, but yes, we are traveling together.
We to keep that spirit safe, we need to get that spirit to Adar.
How will they be safer in Adar?
mean, the Dars are homeland, more or less. I mean, surrounded by other Kalashtar, for starters. You know, we and protected, helped raised, maybe even if I'm assuming this. Is the spirit bonded with someone yet? Do we know? Like, please God, don't tell me it's the half elf.
No, no, she is not bonded with another person.
Because I saw the whole Ilyana thing, and I just wanted to like.
No.
But she's very angry, and so it's kind of hard to kind of. I just wanted to make sure. I'm sorry. It's been a long day. I've been.
It's understandable.
But
We've
if the spirit hasn't bonded with someone yet, if we bring them to a Dar, we could potentially bond them with several people, provided they're willing and the spirit's willing to do so to help protect them, much like the spirit fragments we possess, so to speak, to protect them. But we can't do it if they kill the spirit before it gets a chance, or God forbid, corrupt it.
Yes, I understand. That has always been sort of an ultimate goal, but he is still young, and I believe while it may ultimately be safer to keep at least part of her intact that way, I don't wish to rush her into anything either. We will speak with her once we have a little more time, and things will start to make a lot more sense once Zaya is repaired.
Zaya. Yeah, you gotta tell me about this shit. This is. I mean, I heard. I mean, I read some of the. I don't know what you want to call them, broadsheets, penny dreadfuls, whatever he has about it, but definitely doesn't seem to do it justice.
She definitely lives up to her name of Berezaya.
She. You said the. Wait a second. You said the spirit was a she as well.
She is.
Did the spirit bond with the ship?
Maya just kind of smiles.
Admittedly, I rolled an insight check and it was like a 13, so like.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Yes, it's a little bit complicated. There's a lot to take into account when trying to plan her future and who she will or may be bonded with in the future. It's a bit of a messy situation, to put it mildly.
Yeah, and you see your sister just kind of sits down, like, kind of a little befuddled as I mean, you see the mathematical equations going on behind your head, so to speak, as she's kind of processing all of this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Admittedly, I'm not the only one on the Kalashtar side looking for you. Mom and Dad are out there. Like, I drew the short straw, or at least we thought, and got stuck at Stormreach waiting for you, since we know your ship had been there a few times. But
Yes, I did have a very brief run-in with Berezaya.
Look, I can't say as to know all of their intentions, but you know they put the Kalashtar first, even in a general sense.
Well,
Even with their ends justify the means bullshit. But I look, we're like, word has gotten out in the communities, like, of a new spirit's existence in the world and what that means. And Zaya, she's just like looking, make sure she's saying it correct. It's like, and Zaya means a whole hell of a lot.
that she does.
I mean, to our people. Although, not just. I'm just saying. Maybe I don't. Admittedly, I don't have any other contacts in Stormreach. It was the first time I was here. I kind of stowed away on one of the little tendrils, because that was freaking scary. And then by the time you guys docked and I hid out in the little floating island place, but then you guys disappeared by the time you got back. Disappeared when I woke up, but and then all the chaos and what happened this evening.
Well, you should have told me when you'd found us sooner. We could have done proper introductions under better circumstances.
Yeah, well, you know, when you're raised up to be paranoid of everything, it's kind of hard to do that sometimes. I mean, I get your friend's paranoia.
Oh, I understand. Took me many years to even slightly shake that. Still hasn't completely gone away.
What was your friend's name?
Rhiannon. She's a bit more on edge than normal as well, and she knows at least a little bit about our childhood. But cooler heads will prevail, she'll understand.
I saw some of the stuff she was doing there. Is she actually a priestess of Ilyana?
Yes, although she had a fair amount of power before becoming a priestess.
Fair enough.
Well, I think our catching up time is about done for now. We'll certainly catch up more later on where we've both been these past few years. But for now, I think we should rejoin the rest of the group, take stock of our current situation.
It's been 10 minutes. You guys good?
What was that?
Right on cue.
It's been 10 minutes. You guys good? Do I have to come in there and murder somebody on behalf of Amaya?
I'm perfectly capable of murdering people on my own behalf, thank you very much.
Not if you're taken over by the Inspired.
And you see, your sister will actually open up the door and kind of look at Gavin for a moment. And granted, your sister is like, how tall is Amaya?
Amaya and her family tended to be a little bit taller than average. I'd put Amaya at 5'10".
Okay, so we're gonna say her sister's like a little bit shorter than that, maybe like 5'6".
Okay.
So you see, and Gavin, I think you're a little bit on the.
I think he's just shy of 6 feet, so he's maybe an inch on Amaya.
So you see the sister kind of sits there and looks up at you for a moment, and
Rhiannon is like casually leaning on the wall of the thing, like a little bit behind Gavin, just looking over. Like, I can be calm. This is fine. But I'm ready to murder something if needed. That kind of vibe.
It's the body language, though. She's not saying it.
Yes.
And you see she kind of looks up at you, and then you gets that kind of shit-eating grin and goes, "Killing us. That's cute." And then kind of walks around behind, walks out behind you, but then does walk up to Rhiannon and go, and you see more, less cocky, more just sort of steadfast, just kind of goes, I realize you're just trying to protect my sister and your crew members here. And did that chest just move?
Yes.
And you
No,
see,
you must be seeing things.
She runs her hand against her bracers, and you see a couple of those daggers just kind of form out of nothingness. Like,
Amaya's gonna say through the mind link to her, I told you some of the crew was a little bit of an acquired taste. And out loud, she's gonna go, yes, this is another one of our crew members, actually, Liddy.
It's definitely a chest. It's not anything to be concerned about.
Captain Liddy.
It's Captain Liddy, thank you very much.
And you see she reluctantly does let go of the daggers that seem to kind of dissipate back into sort of nothingness when...
Just hear that in the air because Ember's not there.
Ember is very particular. It's Captain Liddy.
Well, and I think Liddy has now learned Common, if I remember.
Yes!
I think so, yeah.
He just did.
Mm-hmm. Liddy's like, it's a pleasure to meet you. It's like,
sticks out a pseudopod to shake.
And it talks.
Indeed.
They talk. Did we determine Liddy's pronouns?
Yes.
Liddy was a they, them, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
they talk.
Technically, Liddy does not have, it's an asexual creature for...
Right.
So,
they
could also be appropriate.
I suppose it's up to what Liddy wants.
True.
I mean, I suppose I could see, since mimics take the forms of different objects and pieces of furniture and things, I could see it actually preferring terms like it.
Yeah.
But
Liddy, do you want to be? Do you want your pronouns to be they them or it's or they it or it they or something else?
you'll have to give me a moment to remember the lesson on pronouns.
Really quickly translates in giant.
No, he's speaking in common, but he only.
No. I'm reminding him in giant what pronouns.
What pronouns
okay.
are?
It's like, yeah, whatever works.
Any pronouns.
Okay.
All right, I'm digging it. So
standing there in awkward silence.
Yeah, Rhiannon is like has an eyebrow cocked at like a
Ember's
what's your
just
sister's name?
screaming in the distance.
Katari.
My name's
Katari.
Katari.
Yeah. Ember or Rhiannon's just looking at her because I think she was saying something or.
I mean, you get the sense that she's. I mean, you with the insight and whatnot, I get the sense that she's. While not directly apologizing for being a dick, is kind of roundabout. Basically
Apologizing for being a
dick. Yeah.
I apologize, Katari, if I was overly harsh. I am indeed concerned about Amaya, who is a dear friend of mine, and the other crew members on this ship, as well as the ship herself. And part of our jobs is that we protect each other, and I don't know you. You're obviously very capable. Amaya trusts you for reasons unknown to me. So if I overreacted, I apologize.
To be fair, we do have good reason to be leery of people that we
don't
really know.
We know how...
We have had some bad experiences.
We know how the inspired can act and how... and to what devastating effect.
And I appreciate and respect your level of paranoia.
Thank you.
Because when it comes to them, honestly, what you've seen in the past couple of days is probably the most overt I think I've ever seen.
Agreed.
I mean, I'm going to take a little bit of solace in the fact that we've managed to avoid them long enough to piss them off to this point.
Yeah, well, the thing is they're... I mean, they've always been very subtle in their movements and their influence. You know, long-ranging plans, long-term thinkers. But what's kind of scaring us in general, the Clash Tower, is the fact that, you know, like all of those air vessels have enough inspired on them to run the air vessels under their management control. And honestly, I think they might have subtly influenced the Lazarites, or whatever you want to call them, the pirate guys, to steal them. And I don't know. I mean, I can't say they necessarily have control of all of them, but they do have a control of a goodly amount. And
yes, that was the conclusion I'd come to.
The Inspired are a very old, very well-oiled machine. Hi, we're the Wrench.
Oh, that's cute, baby.
I've been sitting on that one for days.
I feel, yeah, well, good work.
I love it. I love it.
Look, I don't know what you guys talked about in there, but we're down a crew, and we don't leave family behind.
Nope.
So our next step is to rescue Ember.
Has it been like an hour or so?
Yeah, you guys have the equivalent of a short rest, so you've had an hour.
Gavin, do you want to try your token?
Um,
Your flame token
yeah.
for Ember, and see maybe if she'll respond now.
I just don't want to blow our load, so to speak.
Well, it renews every day.
There. I'll pull out the flame token.
Okay.
Hi, Amber. If you're being held captive against your will, cough once. If you're not, cough twice.
Anything
How
else?
many do I have left?
I think you got like 9.
We're going to charge in and come rescue you.
And that's it. Yeah.
Rescue, no, that is 9. Because I was doing syllables, not words.
Um.
Ayasha.
You wait. You wait. And you wait, and you don't hear anything.
Nah.
As we're dealing with that, I'm going to cut away for a moment back to Ember. So Ember. Your brain is kind of swimming a little bit. And it's almost like you. And the weird thing about this sort of dream state, this sort of weird quasi-dream state, is you almost think you hear Gavin's voice a little bit. Although it's kind of that Peanuts wah 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 wah, as opposed to more definitive words. But even that sound though, the timbre of his voice and whatnot, it kind of starts to bring you from those kind of quasi depths, and you start to flutter your eyes open a little bit. You see that you are in a fairly uncomfortable state, to kind of put it mildly. I don't know if you remember from Doctor Strange, but like that funky like magic contraption thing that like had them all sort of suspended, and like even the fingers and toes kind of suspended, sort of thing. You're in something very similar to that.
Kinky.
And we're back to the gangbang.
And admittedly, you are immobilized, and it does feel like you are kind of gagged as well.
Oh, nice.
Very kinky.
You do see that there are several, like 2 or 3 guards in this room. That are actually some of the Warforged, so they're just kind of standing there and sort of sentry. They've all got. You do see they all have crossbows that are loaded, and they're not aimed directly at you, but you get the sense that they're meant to shoot if you try anything funny, in so much as that goes. But you as you kind of focus in, as you see there's this woman wearing almost kind of I'd say almost kind of a toga-esque sort of not quite a toga-esque gown, but definitely kind of a lighter cloth, fairly simple outfit. It probably comes together at the neck a little bit with like a little bit of a almost like a choker or collar kind of built in, but still the same fabric as the dress itself. But then it kind of comes down and then kind of wraps around behind towards the waist. Fairly, very clean, very simple design. Again, kind of reminds me a little bit of, I would say almost a little bit of like a sort of a toga, a little bit, but or more Grecian style outfit. I'll put it that way, maybe. But you see atop their head, they have this crystalline crown that sticks out almost as if out through her kind of light sort of purple hair, kind of on a shade between like purple and pink, a little bit, very Imogen-esque if you wanted to give it a hue. But this crown of crystal, it looks like almost like a rough sort of crystal that are kind of sticking up almost like pointed fingers or claws coming out of her hair, which you recognize from your discussions with Rhiannon and Amaya and even Arashi a little bit. You kind of recognize there's that similar style of crystal, like what tops Rhiannon's staff, which is referred to as like a deep crystal. Which as much as you know of it is that it has usually some sort of psionic resonance. So it's usually used a lot in enchanting psionic items in that regard. And this woman does have several other bottles and whatnot, and she's beautiful, but you definitely, with your experiences being around the dragon mark houses and being around nobility, she's got that sense of I'm pretty and I know it, and you're beneath me kind of thing, that nobility and
the regal
up and ups usually have, and you see it's like, our guest is waiting. I apologize for the inconvenience, but knowing you and your abilities, we can't have you going about causing people's heads to explode, which bravo, by the way, bravo. Your abilities are
I mean,
quite impressive.
just seemed like a thing to do when one gets swarmed.
Oh, and sorry, as a slight retcon, she doesn't say it verbally, you hear this in your mind, so you're able to respond, because you are gagged. But you get the sense she's much like Amaya has done and Zaya kind of mind.
Is she speaking in common?
That's the funny thing. With the telepathy, it doesn't really matter as long as you can speak a language.
Yeah, okay, that's fine.
So it's yeah. So there's not really
It's fine.
the snark is universal.
I had a thought, and now it's retracted because of that. So it's all good. Now I lost where we were.
Well, she mentioned your she applauded your abilities.
Oh.
And the people that you whose deaths you
Right. And I thank her. And it's a thing to do. But bravo to you for taking me out unawares, because wham bam. Thank you, ma'am.
I had to reply in kind. I mean,
did you?
was very tempted to have my.
You didn't even say hi.
Well, don't you worry. We're gonna have plenty of time to get to know each other. And she smiles with very.
I have a record of not committing very well. I've had conversations with past people about this.
You see, she just smiles kind of predatorily as she sort of eyeing you with really not. Again, just kind of predatory intent, but there is a knock at the door, and she's like, and you hear her verbal go, yes. It's like, the captain wants to know, milady, which direction goes there. I think we should go back home. After all, we want to secure our prize. Make way to Sargo. And you see the
squeeze me now.
The servant's like, of course. And then Receipt's head goes, oh, don't worry, dear. You hear in your mind. We'll have plenty of time. And then she kind of heads out the door and it shuts, and you're kind of just sitting there being stared down by the guards. And then we will quickly jump back to.
Oh God, I have no response. You just see Ember is just sweating.
That's
she doesn't sweat. She's sweating now.
That's fair. That's fair. Going back to the rest of you.
Yes.
So you've had your short rest and had some discussions and whatnot. It's been, over an hour, maybe going into about an hour, maybe midway through hour two. And I need everyone to make a Constitution saving throw.
What? Oh shit, the air's running out.
3.
Oh no.
18.
Okay. As you're having this discussion and talking, Gavin, all of a sudden you start to feel. You start to feel a little, almost like a little tipsy, a little bit. Go ahead and gain a level of fatigue.
Say that again, I'm sorry.
So go ahead and take a level of fatigue.
So, point of exhaustion?
Or point of exhaustion.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sorry. Mixing up terminology or Pathfinder, because that's a thing that happens. Sorry. But as long as you understand the words that are coming out of your mouth, even if I don't, there you go. And I appreciate it.
Where am I again?
Amaya got 4. Level of fatigue as well.
So as
What did
talking, Rhiannon,
what did Katari get?
Katari got the save. Katari actually made the save.
Darn it. Go on.
Oh, and I figured out that Zaya's healing is faster than I thought, so after about 23, 24-ish minutes, she would be back to full health.
That's fair.
So she could be conscious again.
You, Rhiannon, and see as Amaya gets up, Amaya all of a sudden gets super sort of wobbly.
I jump to her and, like, catch her.
And kind of goes down on one knee. And the thing is like, she wasn't drinking anything.
No.
She's
Are you?
healed.
What's wrong, Amaya?
I mean, would Amaya... I know she's been on ships before, but not usually submarines. I could see her having dealt with thin air before, but not necessarily being trapped in a compartment. So would she know what's going on?
Go ahead and make just a straight intelligence roll, Amaya.
Okay. Oh, 17. Not bad.
Nice.
Actually, that's not bad at all. You are starting to realize that granted, you've been on some trips where you have gone a very high elevation. You where the air was thin, and you start to realize you're having those similar sort of sensations where it gets a little euphoric and a little tipsy.
Okay.
And then allowing you to sort of piece put the pieces together to realize that in point of fact, the air is a little bit stale right now, and you realize you are underwater in a submerged Zaya and are slowly running out of air, and I believe that is where we will leave it for the evening.
Oh my god.
It's fine.
Cool. We're
No.
running out of air. We have no idea where Ember is.
But we
Ember
gained a
is
level.
hot.
We totally gained a level.
What?
You guys took out how many freaking airships?
A lot.
If you look at the top of our little Zaya document, you will see that your experience is enough to gain you a level.
Woo!
Yes, I can.
And so,
Your new total experience should be 102,000.
102,000.
and so you will have a chance. You can go ahead and level up, although you haven't yet had a long rest. So like anything that takes a long rest to regain, you wouldn't necessarily have, but otherwise, any other resources you would gain in your class abilities, you will gain access to them right away.
Can I ask a little, slightly below table, but
Do we want to do this off?
the question I have actually may have some bearing on the
Okay.
stream, so I want to leave it up, and Brian can tell me yay or nay.
Okay.
We talked a while ago about something that Gavin had wanted to do, appealing to his patron. During that short rest, could he have done that?
Is that as far as the and that's as far as the retraining stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll love that. Sure.
Okay. Gavin is going to look very different after when we come back from our regularly scheduled program.
That's gonna be exciting.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Okay.
That said, is there anything else you need to add, Brian?
Thank you all for watching. there might be a little wibbly wobbly with the next scheduled game, which I'll talk to everybody off screen for. But I have some family shoring.
This is why we recorded this game as opposed to streaming this game.
Yeah. So we'll check the schedules. We'll have the next game posted and let you know as soon as it's available. Please keep watching. We appreciate having you. We love you. And we'll see you hopefully in a couple of weeks.
Bye, everybody.
Bye,
everyone.